Hi, my name is Festus or DJ Erewele, and you're welcome to the CEO Masterclass. Like I will always ask, I hope you've been having fun. For the past few weeks, we've been talking about managing people, effective management, and principles of management. Something very important that some CEOs and MDs are not able to handle is the relationship between bosses, between colleagues, and between subordinates. You must agree with me that the level of relationship or how to manage these people actually differ. And so today we'll be talking at how do we manage this relationship that has to do with bosses, that has to do with colleagues, and that has to do with subordinates. First of all, what is relationship management? There are two types of relationship management, if you must know. We have the contractual relationship and then the covenantal relationship. What is the contractual relationship? This is strictly a contract. It's statutory. It is the 9 to 5. It is agreed. It's paper based. You have given me a job description, you've given me a contract, and so I must execute the contract according to the terms and conditions that have been laid out. There is simply a contract in place that binds us. And so the relationship that I have with you or the company is contract based. And everything that has to do with executing my job description will not go outside. I won't do anything extra. If my employment or my contract letter says that I close by 5 o'clock, if I'm getting out of 5 p.m. in the evening, it means you'll pay me extra for it. If I have to come earlier than 9 a.m. in the morning, it means you have to pay me something for it. So it's strictly business. But there is another kind of relationship called the covenantal relationship. It could start with contract, but when the owners of businesses know how to manage relationship, how to bring in the relationship currency in dealing with people, people go beyond the contractual into the covenantal. The covenantal relationship says that I can do something extra because I am involved in this business or because this man is involved in this business. Anything that has to do outside the contract, even without taking extra pay for it, is covenantal, and that grows over time. But before we skid up, let's talk about how to relate with bosses. And now I'm putting myself as someone who is a boss, and I have to relate with people who are bosses or who are less than I am, talking about colleagues or subordinates. Now, there are 5 elements, and this was a study that I had done in 2020. I call it the Festus Erewele Relationship Matrix Model. And it took complete study of 5 key elements in people management. And what are these key elements? We're looking at loyalty, we're looking at trust, we're looking at good communication, we're looking at knowledge, and we're looking at respect. These 5 things are the ingredients embedded in relationship management. Why do we say so? Because, of course, loyalty is something that has to do with look, irrespective of how much I know, irrespective of my position, I still know where my authority lies and where my control stops. Meaning that even if I have a boss that is less knowledgeable than I am, loyalty comes to the fact that I must do what he has to do. Humility comes into play, saying that I must follow authority or follow the protocol. So, in these 5 elements of relationship management, relating with bosses, the number one thing that is paramount is loyalty. Bosses will want to relate with people who are loyal to them because tell me what, respect is given. Respect is given. I mean, he is already at the top of it and he knows exactly that it is his right to be respected. The other thing that bosses will be looking out for in effective people management will be how much trust can he lay on you? How much trust can he put on you? Trusting means that he knows that you have the ability, you have been fully equipped, and you can perform the task ahead of you. And so, trust becomes the next important ingredient that you need to have as a condition. The third thing that is interesting in dealing with bosses, therefore, will be good communication. Communication, effective communication, learning how to communicate clearly and simply. It's good. Bosses enjoy it when people can communicate directly, simply, and clearly to them. And they will be able to pass on the same kind of instruction that they have received to their subordinates. Then the next thing is knowledge. How knowledgeable are you? People don't underrate it. When I was in banking, I told some of my colleagues then, and we found out that from you to become an account officer up to the point of being a manager in the bank, it's strictly controlled by performance. If you are a performer, you will grow and you will grow well. But by the time you become a manager in the bank, performance is no longer the issue because it's given that you performed before you became a manager. What begins to matter is the people. What's your relationship currency with those in authority? How much is their influence able to take you beyond that level? And when they begin to understand that you have the people and you know the performer, you know the job and you can perform, you go from there until perhaps you get to the AGM level or DGM. Then the politics comes in. That is what happens. It's everywhere. So while in banking you have performance, people, and politics. In the normal relationship with people, bosses, you have these elements that I have just talked about. Now, if you are going to be relating with subordinates, the issue of loyalty does not become paramount. No, what becomes paramount is the knowledge. Does the man that you want to relate with have the requisite knowledge to discharge his function? That actually is the number one thing. Because when people work in an establishment, they don't work to be loved, they work to be respected. And so knowledge is very, very important. The next thing that is paramount is trust. Can you be trusted with the responsibility that you have been assigned to? So bosses who wants to relate with subordinates or subordinates who are relating with their bosses should be fully equipped outside knowledge with the trust that they have the ability to do this job at the time that is required, when it is required, and how it is required. Of course, the others like good communication comes in. And when you are now relating with colleagues, it does not have to take the same sequence like as it is with your bosses or with your subordinates. Now, what matters here is respect. That is the paramount element. When you are relating with your colleagues, it is expected that you already have the knowledge that brought you to the same level. So, what is important is respect. How well do you respect your colleagues? That is very important. When people know that you respect them, they will be available to be used in helping you do your duties. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the much that we can share today on managing bosses, colleagues, and subordinates. I am sure that you have gained one or two things from this, and we'll see you in the next episode, hopefully by the grace of God, when we'll be talking on another topical issue that MD CEOs will require to know. Remember, no excuse is good enough to explain failure. You don't need any when you succeed. Have a great day. Bye.